What's up, traders? It's Trades here. Let's see what the market has in store for us today. It's the 12th of November, Tuesday. We've got pound news coming out soon in about 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Jobs news, and then for dollar, we've got a FOMC member speaking later on. But apart from that, not a lot. We've got CPI tomorrow, something to consider, and PPI the day after, which most certainly will or should drive prices on both of those days. We see loads of volatility tomorrow and day after. Euro dollar, I'm bearish going into the day. I was bearish going into this week. We opened yesterday, gapped open, pushed up just slightly. It does look like we might have tapped into that order block as well. Did we? No, I don't think we did. No, we didn't tap into that daily. Well, I don't really think it was an order block completely until now. Now it's an order block. And yeah, so I'm bearish going into today. I'm going to wait for price to pull back into this range. This looks like a good location at the moment. We've created a swing high on the 4 hour. Well, more like we've rejected this bearish fair value gap and then displaced lower, held at 50% off that bearish fair value gap on the 240. And then start to displace lower. Yeah, my target is that sell side liquidity this week. I'm not sure if we'll reach that level today because we've got CPI tomorrow, PPI the day after, unless we reach that level before CPI. And then for CPI, we find support. That's one thing. Or we start to pull back before CPI and then we drop. But at the moment, because I'm bearish going into the week or going into the day, and the way price is playing out, we have, rejected this 240 fair value gap. We displaced lower with a breaker with fair value gaps. This is a nice displacement, put in an order block. We took the highs off that order block, and again, we've started to move lower. I would have liked to see something like this during the London session, but it looks like we're going to continue lower. I don't see price unless we come down to this low from yesterday and then find support that pushes price back up to these highs. I'm not really seeing any reason for price to move back up before continuing or making a new low. I'll be watching this order block. That price might come back in to find some resistance. We've got this range as well. Got that swing high above that. I want to see how the next candle, the 7 a.m. candle closes, which is the 1 a.m. candle. Or 2 a.m. candle closes, and if we leave a fair value gap around here, I'm not going to force a trade. For me, price has already kind of made the move that I was expecting it to make. Look how price came down, held this level with a bullish, low wick candles, making it seem like it's going to continue higher up, and then it pushes into this fair value gap 50% and then finds resistance. And I do expect price to continue lower to this sell side liquidity at the 1.06 level. It is just a matter of how price will get there, which is always not sure about. I honestly think if we come into this range, this order block above these highs, we've got New York open as well. We could find resistance and continue lower, but I'll just wait and see how market plays out once London session opens. Pound dollar has come down and cleared the rest of this bullish fair value gap. Now I'm watching for price to come and take that order block or tap into that weekly time frame order block. That's a pretty decent location to start looking for opportunities to go long. We also happen to be below this swing low on the daily time frame, which is also, we have that slight bullish fair value gap on the 240. On the daily time frame, as you can see right there. So yeah, we've got news coming out for pound in 10 minutes, and if price pushes down to that level aggressively, I will look for opportunities for a short-term pullback, because my prediction for the day is daily bearish We've had strong bearish closes. We had a similar to EURUSD, but gap open, price pushed up slightly, then closed low, and we've taken out last week's low with this candle at the moment. This can turn into any candle. It doesn't have to be a bearish candle, right? So something to consider. We've got this sell side liquidity on the daily time frame as well. Alternatively, right, like I said, we are in a bearish trend. If you're looking at this, look at this accumulation. It's essentially an accumulation on the 240 and coming into a key level, which essentially is manipulation. We might see, eventually we might see distribution back into that range. When? I'm not sure. Today, probably not. Might do. So something to keep an eye out. But on the 240 at the moment, honestly, this range is a good range to look for opportunities to go short with. At the moment, leaving this bearish fair value gap. Will it be a bearish fair value gap? I'm not sure. It depends on how the next candle closes with the news. But it's bearish. We've been leaving bearish imbalances along the way, right? If you look at this, we've got bearish fair value gap. We left a bearish fair value gap yesterday morning. Then again, then order block formed, and then we took out liquidity of that order block like EURUSD, and then we are at the moment displacing lower. On the 1 hour time frame, even clearer. This seems like during the close Asian session, we just tanked order block, liquidity grab of that order block. Again, another candle that's dropped. Looks like we'll be leaving a fair value gap here. We have a fair value gap, we've got an order block, and then another fair value gap and swing high. So maybe we'll pull back into this range and hold that level during the news before continuing lower. Look, we've also just cleared that bearish fair value gap, right? Sorry, bullish fair value gap. And of course, I'd like to see price come into that order block and tap into that order block, but that is 21 pips away from this fair value gap, which price is cleared at the moment, which it can find support at. Yeah. If it pulls back aggressively during the news, so we've got news coming out soon. If I see price just boom push up on the 15-minute, 5-minute into these levels, right? We'll have one fair value gap order block around these levels. I will look for opportunities to go short. Yeah, that's my trade idea for pound dollar. And if we come down into that weekly time frame order block, sell side liquidity before, like during the news, I'll look to go long. And if we push up during the news in about 5 minutes, I'll look for short. Eventually, if it makes down to that level during after New York session, then I'll look for opportunities, or even during New York session, I'll look for opportunities to go long for a short-term trade. And those are my trade ideas.